Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. Are religious Americans in danger? That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. It is a fact of American life that the far left despises organized religion, generally speaking. They see churches, synagogues, mosques as oppressive, standing in the way of things like abortion and a libertine lifestyle. After the Supreme Court legalized gay marriage last week, the far left was delirious with joy, but not so much because homosexuals can now tie the knot, but because the decision has anti-church ramifications.
Obviously, a church, a synagogue, they don't have to marry same-sex couples if they don't want to, and no one is saying that they can. But you say Catholic Charities, if you want to adopt babies and be part of that process, you have to be equal to all. That's equal protection. And if you don't do that and you don't respect the supreme law of the land, then you are the one discriminating.
Mr. Cuomo is partially correct. The Supreme Court, as comprised now, would not order clerics to marry gays. It'd probably be 5-4. The 4 liberal justices might very well go for that. If Hillary Clinton's elected president, there may be a 5th uber-liberal judge appointed, but the adoption issue is certainly going to change no matter what happens. Chris Cuomo may not know this, but some Catholic charity agencies do allow gays to adopt. However, some don't. And those who don't will now have to go out of the adoption business. That's what happened in Massachusetts after a judge imposed gay marriage on that state. The reason, lawsuits. For example, the ACLU now suing the state of Louisiana because Governor Bobby Jindal signed an executive order protecting people of faith from being forced to participate in any way in gay weddings. We'll talk with the governor shortly. It's just a matter of time before lawsuits are filed against churches and religious organizations trying to strip them of their tax-exempt status if they don't toe the line on gay marriage and other progressive causes. The churches really can't afford those lawsuits and certainly can't afford to lose their tax-exempt status. So you will see more and more religious concerns back down. Also, religious leadership in America is generally weak. That's one of the reasons the gay marriage lobby was so successful. Few clerics would or could articulate their opposition in a meaningful way. Of course, there are exceptions, but the Catholic Church would provide no national cardinal, archbishop, or bishop to speak to the gay marriage matter. Believe me, we tried to balance the reporting. We wanted to hear from them. We got nowhere with the Catholic leadership. The Catholic Church in America, as you know, is frightened, coming off the terrible battering it took in the priest pedophilia scandal. The ACLU and other anti-religious organizations know that. They sense weakness. And believe me, they're going to move against people of faith. One bright spot in approving gay marriage, Justice Anthony Kennedy wrote the majority opinion, quote, "Finally, it must be emphasized that religions and those who adhere to religious doctrines may continue to advocate with utmost sincere conviction that, by divine precepts, same-sex marriage should not be condoned. The First Amendment ensures that religious organizations and persons are given proper protection." Again, as the court stands now, people of faith are somewhat protected, but one more liberal judge, and those protections might very well vanish. And that's a memo. Now for the top story tonight, reaction. In the Impact segment tonight, as mentioned in the T-Points, Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal issued an executive order saying that Louisiana court clerks and other employees do not have to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples because of religious objections if they have them. In addition, the order prohibits the state from denying or revoking tax exemptions to religious organizations who dissent on gay marriage. Individuals are protected as well. If you don't want to provide services for gay nuptials in Louisiana, you're protected. But now the ACLU and 6 other organizations are suing Governor Jindal and the state for discrimination. The governor joins us now from Lincoln, Nebraska. You must have anticipated that this was going to happen. What do you think the long game is for the ACLU? What are they trying to do in your state?
Well, Bill, thank you for having me. You're right. We did anticipate this. So we did our own Religious Freedom Restoration Act in 2010. We did the executive order May 19th in anticipation of this this awful ruling. Bill, I think their long game is the ACLU used to be for religious freedom before they are against it. You mentioned in the earlier segment, I think they want to get to a point where we no longer have First Amendment religious freedom rights. So, for example, you heard during the court case, the Solicitor General was asked if they ruled the way they did, would this impact, for example, the tax-exempt status for higher ed institutions within a religious affiliation? He said it might. He didn't say it wouldn't.
Sure,
I
because
think
if
they
you're a
want to take away the
Catholic
tax
college,
exempt status.
if you're a Catholic college and you have dormitories for married people, and then there's a gay married couple that's attending the college, and you say, yeah, that's against our religion, then you might lose whatever advantage you have for being religious in the tax arena. But it's more than that. It's about individual liberty, and that's, you made a very astute point. In the beginning, the ACLU was all for individual liberty. I mean, that's why they were established, you know, freedom of expression, freedom of this, freedom of that. Now the baker, and you know, that analogy that I made is very, very pertinent because my religion says I can't do business with any Nazi or any totalitarian communist. I'm not going to do business with them, all right? Whether it's writing a book, whether it's shoveling snow off their driveway, if I know they're there, I'm not doing it. And you know, you could say you're discriminating against them. They're Americans. They have a right to X, Y, and Z. I'm sorry. Gays aren't protected class right now, all right? And if you're, I wouldn't say, I'd say if you were denying gay services just because they were gay, I think you got a problem. But if you don't want to participate in the nuptials, then you should have the freedom to opt out there. You say?
Bill, I think that's right. Look, and the ACLU on their website says religious freedom, religious liberty is a fundamental right. Here's the hypocrisy. They've actually used Louisiana's Religious Freedom Restoration Act to defend the rights of other religious minorities, and good for them for doing that. Now that it's evangelical Christians, now that it's Catholics who object to redefining marriage, who are simply saying, we don't want to participate in weddings that violate our conscience, our beliefs, now the ACLU is saying you can't have the same rights, the same First Amendment protections we want for other religious minorities. I think the left wants to take God out of the public square. I think they want to redefine America in a much secular society.
Absolutely. It's much easier for the secular progressives to get stuff passed if they can destroy the opposition that comes from religious Americans. Now, you are running for president. You know it's a long shot. You got to come from 1-2% in the polls all the way up to beat guys like Jeb Bush and Donald Trump. I mean, he's doing well in the polls because he's so flamboyant and he's so opinionated. Are you doing this for a realistic? Do you really believe that you can do this because it's going to take $1 billion? Where are you going to get that?
Bill, I'm running to win. I'm running because I worry that President Obama is trying to turn the American dream into the European nightmare.
They're all worried about that. All other 19 candidates are worried about that.
Well, one of the things I believe that sets me apart is I'm saying we've got to embrace our own principles. Look, Jeb Bush said you've got to be willing to lose the primary to win the general election. I think that's nonsense. We've tried to make the left happy. We've tried to appease the media. It doesn't work. Let's embrace our conservative principles. We got a lot of talkers running. We need a doer. Somebody who can repeal Obamacare. Somebody's got a proven track record. I've cut my state budget 26%. We've cut 30,000 state bureaucratic positions. We need a doer, not a talker.
All right, but you're going to be up against other governors, Walker in Wisconsin, Kasich in Ohio, just to name two, Christie in New Jersey, who are all going to have stories to tell in their own state, just as you do in Louisiana. It just seems to me that that's really, I'm glad you're in the race. I'm glad you're in the race. You're a different, distinctive voice, and we need that. But it's going to be really tough for you, Governor. Last word.
Well, look, the hour's late for America. We need somebody who will say the things in D.C. you're not supposed to say. Bill, the smart guys in the Republican Party say you can't do term limits, you can't cut the size of government. I think they're wrong. I think this country is ready to wake up and say, let's get off this path towards socialism.
All right. Governor, thanks as always.